Hey there, YouTube. This is the Mr. Roboto back with something a little bit different today. Today we're going to take a look at my Bally Paragon vintage 1970s pinball machine. So today I'm going to start off by making a little bit of a confession. This machine is older than I am. So if while I'm speaking about this machine, the more elderly group out there that knows more about pinball machines than I do, please forgive my lack of understanding. This is really meant to just show you guys one of my favorite toys. So, this machine is a 1978 Bally Paragon. From my understanding and my research, this is the first wide-body pinball machine that Bally made. Again, if that is incorrect, I'm sure the fact checkers will make comments down in the comment section, but I picked this machine up in an old warehouse. This machine was actually owned by my uncle for a long time, and then before him, he picked it up at a restaurant of some sort, and this was their mode of entertainment for their patrons. So as you can see here, it is definitely a player. It is not a museum quality piece by any means, but the patina, in my opinion, is lovely. Paint quality is just okay. There are some dings and nicks and scratches in it, but I really enjoy that. It gives the machine some history. You get a good view of the paint stenciling here on the side. I suspect that the paint wasn't perfect on these, even from the factory, but not bad. If you look at the back glass, you can see there are some cracks in the, I'm guessing it's a mylar material on the back of the glass. But again, it gives it character. It's different. There is no other Paragon that's quite like this. I love the art on this machine. Give some credit to the gentleman who did the art. As you can see here on the front, I have deactivated the coin slots, and now I have an infinite amount of money by pressing my red button. And if I want to add extra players, so as you can see, some of my displays are a little wonky, but you can still tell what's going on. The most important one, number 1 and 2, are still pretty fresh. Next, we'll take a look at the inside of the machine. So, as you can see now, with the back glass removed, we'll open up the machine. And I am going to be very careful here because the machine is still powered up. So we're not going to be touching any of the power supply or anything like that. But there is absolutely nothing new and modified in this machine. It is completely original. Even has some of the original dust. Check out some of these settings up here. When I first got the machine, it was set to 5 balls per quarter, and the difficulty on all the settings was probably about medium. At that time, I was easily exceeding 1,000,000 points, and the score displays only went up to 6 digits, so I decided to make it a 3-ball game and set all of the settings to the hardest. And since then, I haven't really been able to get much over 450,000. So inside here, this piece here is the sound module. This is the solenoid driver that controls all of the flippers and all the motion inside the machine. This is the main motherboard that controls everything. Just lots of neat stuff in here. That's the lamp driver that controls all the lights. And of course, your main power supply here. Now, one thing I have noticed about this machine, it's extremely finicky with these old plugs. Now, I have found lots of supporting parts and things out on the internet, so yes, I know I can get new plugs and things, but I like to just kind of leave it as it is. When one breaks, I'll pick a new one up. So now, if we take a look at the play field, you can see that it's in pretty good shape still. There's definitely a little bit of patina here on some of the numbers, but I have gone through and cleaned all this and waxed it, so hopefully slow down some of the wear. All of the plastic is in beautiful condition. I would say about 90% of the light bulbs work. I have gone through and replaced them, but some of the light bulb holders don't quite work anymore. Again, I know I can get new parts for that, but I just haven't yet. I have gone through and replaced all the rubber, as you can see. If you guys are Paragon experts, you will know that there is a missing piece here. I don't know what it's called. It's a gate of some sort. It's kind of like a check valve. It only lets the ball come in one way, but keeps it from traveling back into the beast's lair, which is the most annoying part of this game. But all in all, the flippers are very responsive, very strong, and again, if you know Paragon, this double flipper on the right side is kind of unique, and that'll get you if you don't know how and when to use it. Alright, next we'll take a look under the machine. Must have happened before I got it, but this front door must have been pried open at some time because it's a little bent up, so I'll have to get that off of there and clean it up. I do have a new decal for the front, but I'm not ready to put it on until I get the door finished. Under here is pretty much a rat's nest. This coin changer is completely hacked apart. I gotta get through in here and fix all this, but luckily I have the original manuals. Yes. And if you look at the manuals, it's not only the manual itself, but it's the original electronic pinball games repair procedures as well. So, inside of here, we've got some wiring diagrams, which are very, very helpful. And it details all of the troubleshooting procedures that you need to fix this machine. When I got the machine, it was not operational. You couldn't even see through the glass. It was too covered in rat and mouse and any kind of other excrement you can imagine. So when I fired it up, again, nothing worked. So I My profession is a robotic systems engineer, so I have a little bit of experience with debugging electrical systems. So I went through and started looking at these original hand-drawn wiring diagrams. Again, that's a foreign concept to me, hand-drawn diagrams, but you know, this is how they used to do it. So if any of you guys have a Bally Paragon pinball machine and you need some wiring diagrams, just throw a comment in the section below and I'm happy to make you some scanned copies of this. Alright, so if we look under the machine here, again, that's where all the fun's at. All of the solenoid drivers and everything, the tilt sensor and all that, which I have turned off because I am a cheater. But yeah, it's a really awesome machine. You can tell it was very well built from the factory. The fact that it still works. So let me take a second here to open up the top surface so that you can see what's going on. So, as you see here, if you're not familiar with these machines, you pull this lever out and you remove this metal section here. And then you take this glass and you start to shift it out. So, let me do that real fast. Alright, so as you can see, the glass is out now, and I'm not really too interested in electrocuting myself, so went ahead and powered the machine down. And let's see if we can get this guy opened up. You can see what's under the hood. Alright. Yeah, see all that? See all those electronics? Old school. Again, I apologize if I'm dating you by saying that's old school, but to me, this is ancient. All the original solenoids. Very cool stuff. Now, these drop targets, these guys here, I have gone through and replaced these once because they broke. But honestly, those are the only pieces that I've replaced on this machine. Some of this stuff could need oiled and cleaned up some more, but for my purposes, it's just a fun thing for my 5-year-old little boy and I to do that doesn't involve staring at a computer or a tablet screen. Alright, so we'll get some play footage here next. Alright, all you pinball wizards, we're gonna do some gameplay now. Nice way to start. If you guys know anything about Paragon, this is, from what I understand, one of the harder games that Bally made. There are a lot of areas where you can get trapped up, one of which is the double flipper. Sometimes that ball likes to go through and fall down. The other one is the Beast Slayer. Once it gets into this area here, it starts bouncing all around. It just completely loses control, and it'll fall down here. The other one is this this first alley here brings it back down to the main flippers, but this second one, which is very easy to get to, will dump it as well. So lots of areas get messed up. Oh, yes, I do have my tilt disabled. But it's so much fun to be able to do it. Oh, jeez. Rookie mistake. Double flipper got me. Alright, we'll do this one more time. So, in my experience, this game is much better with taking your time and being slow. It's not really a high-speed kind of game. You have to be very strategic about where you're aiming the ball. Ugh. Alright, well, I'm going to chalk this one up to a little bit of stage fright. That did not even come close to my potential in this game, but that's okay. This was just to show you guys the game, and if you're not familiar with Paragon, it's a pretty cool one, I think. If you're not familiar with pinball machines at all, I would recommend it, because it is definitely a more involved and enjoyable experience than a modern day video game, because you can touch it and feel it, and you can tilt the table and you can hear it, and it's just a really good experience. So, alright, well, thank you guys for tuning into this episode again. Please like and subscribe if you want to see more content. If you want to see more Bally play or Paragon play, let me know, and I'll put up some videos of just me playing the game some. Bally Paragon. Cool stuff. Thanks, guys.